Let's take a call. Let's talk to Mark in Tennessee. Mark, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Alex, good to talk with you and Steve. I'm a long-time listener, over a decade. I 100% agree that the biological avenue is the way they're going to take for several reasons. First and foremost, if you think about it, one of the best ways to get neighbors to snitch on neighbors, to turn against neighbors, is most of these gap-jawed, round-bellied, Kool-Aid gulping sheep zombies, all they're going to know is that I don't want him giving my family the flu.
Yeah, they're too stupid to know that if they've had the shot and it supposedly works, then your neighbor can't give it to you. That bogus term. In fact, you were using it earlier about the common good, or what's that term they use to try to forcibly inject everybody? Steve?
I'm sorry, Alex. You just missed me. I'm just...
Public welfare.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, public... Oh, I mean, you tell these idiots, hey, if you've had the bioweapon shot, you supposedly should be safe. But the truth is, it's usually the people getting the shots that spread it.
Right, and I call those people infectons, okay? And INFECTONS. In other words, people who are intentionally infected so that they become the vectors, whether they travel. Listen, all you'd have to do is hit the major airports, vaccination. Guess what's happening, Alex? They're setting up vaccination ports in the airport. You don't get your vaccine, you don't get on the airplane.
Exactly as we predicted. Now they're saying like have a bracelet to get in a store. They lock down schools. If one kid gets sick, it isn't even the flu. It's the new medicalized tyranny. Great points, Mark. Let's talk to Andy in Florida. Andy, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, buddy.
My theory is that there's too much similarities and motive here between the economic crisis and the swine flu. I think that our economy and banking system basically completely collapsed last fall. And without the Band-Aid, Ponzi-like Federal Reserve bailout, where it was nothing more than we gave the banks, money on paper, and they turned around and bought our treasuries, and sending 10 senior staff members over to China over the past, 6 months, I think we have a real problem with our monetary system, and that it completely has to be reset, and that the swine flu is the false flag to be ready for martial law in the event of a economic currency reset. No,
that's it. They're going to use it, whether they just fearmonger and it isn't deadly. But if they need to, they'll release some bioweapon that does kill a bunch of people. If they need that to pose as saviors and put troops on the streets. I mean, they're doing it.
Well, I think, too, that everyone's got to keep in mind that you've got the baby boomers growing up. You've got all these massive retirement programs that can't be funded because the big companies have stolen all their retirees. You've got the situation where what do you do with an angry population that knows you've screwed them, that now you're going to try and kill them, that you're destroying their family? Listen, when America's backed into a wall, Alex, I remember the very first show I ever did with Art Bell. I said there's going to be a civil war in the United States because they're generating one. I said they'll turn everybody against everybody, and ultimately it'll be to cover their tracks from the greatest plundering of the most prosperous nation in history. That's what it's about. Jesus said it. You basically, the love of money is the root of all evil. The control of money is the control of all evil. And everybody should have asked this question. Excuse me, where in the Constitution did Hank Paulson get the authority to declare martial law if by blackmailing Congress they didn't go along with the bailout?
That's right. I mean, they threatened Congress with martial law if they didn't submit, and people didn't believe me when that happened. And then now it's mainstream news that we told the truth again from our congressional sources. Thank you, caller. We're going to talk to a few more callers on the other side with Steve Quayle. We'll be back next Wednesday as we go into this storm. We got to get the word out now. We've got to expose this as a hoax, that this is staged, or they are going to use it for the total takeover. They've got the assets in place. Let me tell you a little bit about one of our great sponsors, HomeGain.com. This is the place to get you started buying or selling a home, finding a realtor, and getting any real estate questions answered. Go to HomeGain.com and see what I'm talking about. All you need to do is type in your home address, and you will get an instant free estimate of your home's value online. This is a great way to be able to monitor the value of your home. And again, it's absolutely free. There are tons of tools to help you. For instance, if you want to remodel your home, go to HomeGain.com. Use their Home Sale Maximizer to help you determine which home improvements can most increase your home's value before you put it on the market. For 10 years, these folks have been helping home sellers and buyers. Visit their link at Infowars.com. Look for Max, the orange home gain gorilla, to help you with any real estate needs you might have. You'll love this site. It's homegain.com, HOMEGAIN.com. Check them out today. I'm going to ask Congressman Ron Paul about the flu situation, the hype, the fear, how it's being used for political control. Coming up, he joins us in the next hour. So stay with us for that. Steve Quayle will be back next Wednesday again, same time, to give us the latest updates and developments as we track and cover the flu situation with massive troop movements, open announcements of martial law, open announcements of quarantine, forced inoculations. For a non-event, this flu is nothing. So what are they planning? Let's go to Tim in Ohio. Tim, you're on the air. Welcome.
Yesterday, while monitoring the cable news feeds, I came across the anchor and his bimbo babe downplaying the textbook by Mr. Holdren. And it was obvious they were like taking part in these interspersal techniques. Now, Steve, earlier you had mentioned neolinguistics, and I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about how they use that neolinguistics to create the neural pathways in the brain at the Hegelian dialectic level.
Yeah, well, they teach them massive programming. Steve, thanks for the call, caller.
Do you want me to answer that, Alex?
Yes, go ahead.
Well, really simply, it's you tell the lie, you tell it enough times, you tell a big enough lie, and pretty soon people basically, because thinking does require some effort, neurolinguistic programming just means that on the referencing of keywords over and over and over, all the subliminal orders, if you will, or subliminal directions are automatically going to bypass your reasoning process, and you're just going to jump from A to B. Real simple. Flu, vaccine. Flu, vaccine. Flu, vaccine. Images, flu, people dying of flu. Oh, this is the most horrible flu. Images, sound, everything, flu, flu, flu. What's the NLP answer? Vaccine. So basically,
yeah, I should have kept the caller on to ask him what they were saying, but
right.
they've had national publications attack me saying Holdren didn't write this book and didn't say it. We have the book. This guy wrote a whole bunch of books with Ehrlich, who was Bush Sr.'s advisor, saying forced drugging, forced sterilization, have the CPS take your kids at birth, and England's now doing it.
Right. Well, everything. That's why, Alex, the last thing I got to get through to everybody today is they've got to watch England. England will be the stepping stone or diving board to telling us what's going to happen. Should there be a nuclear incident in London, which I still believe there's going to be, then you can bet your bottom dollar we'll have one here too. So people have got to be open to everything. And for the record, this situation with Russia is not a lightweight deal. Behind back channels, if the United States goes to war with Iran, the Russians have already put us on notice.
Well, go ahead.
I'm telling you that listen, doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter what you think. I'm telling you that the Russians, whether people believe they're still a threat or not, the point is that they've already let it be known. And the fact that they have contempt for the current president of the United States is an understatement.
All right. Well, Steve Quayle, next week we'll get into false flags, stage terror. We'll see what else they may mix in with this whole bird flu hype that they're pushing. You were there years ago saying that this is one of their favorite moves. You were there early in the year before April even came up. So was I. We could see the build-up, the movement towards this. And SteveQuayle.com. Steve Quayle, we'll talk to you again next Wednesday.
Thank you, Alex. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.